Here are 4 possible reasons for why God is allowing you to feel empty on the inside. Number 1, God will allow you to feel empty on the inside if you're not continually coming back to Him to eat more of His goodness. Eating and drinking are often used as spiritual metaphors in the Bible. Sometimes it says that when we drink of the goodness of Christ, we're never going to thirst again. And this is referring to the saving power of God. Once God saves you and you are His, nothing can separate you from the love of God. At other times, however, we're told to eat and drink often. And this is referring to our need for our ongoing fellowship with Jesus Christ on a day-to-day basis. All that to say, it's easy to forget that these metaphors are used in both ways. And so it's easy to drink of Christ, become saved, and feel full at first, but then to forget that we need to continually come back to Christ and nourish our hearts with His goodness on a day-to-day basis as well. As Hosea 13:5-6 states, "It was I who knew you in the wilderness, in the land of drought. But when they had grazed, they became full, they were filled, and their heart was lifted up. Therefore they forgot me." May it not be so with us. When you receive Christ, He will fill you and save you forever. But you must not forget Him. If you do, you will feel empty on the inside because we need to reconnect with Christ daily. Just like any relationship, our relationship with Jesus needs time, care, and attention. Number 2, God will allow you to feel empty on the inside if you're filling yourself with empty spiritual calories. There are so many ways that we can feed on the goodness of God. But if we're not careful, this plethora of options will mislead us to choose the empty spiritual calories, so to speak. It's kind of like going to our modern day grocery stores where there's just so many choices to pick from. And if you pick the wrong options and you fill your shopping cart with junk food, later on in the week and in the month to come, you're going to feel bad. Your body's not going to feel nourished because you aren't picking the right calories to actually eat. Likewise, this world is full of spiritual fluff. There are so many options that seem like good choices for us to consume to connect with God, but really it's just empty calories. There's Christian songs that sound really spiritual, but they lack biblical lyrics. There's many pastors out there who are amazing at making you laugh and maybe giving you a few good tips to improve your life, but they're not giving you the meat and potatoes of spiritual truth, the gospel, Jesus, God the Father who loves you. And if you're lacking these spiritual deep truths that the Bible talks so much about, you're just filling yourself with that empty spiritual calories that's not really substance. And perhaps most damaging is this propensity to just feed ourselves. And it's all about me, me, me. It's about feed me, feed me, feed me. I go to church to get a laugh, to feel good, to improve my life. And when you read the scriptures, so much of what is told to the individual is to focus on others, to serve others. And that's really the food our hearts need. Sometimes it's not about getting something for you. It's about giving what you have away to others. And that's actually what will make you feel full inside. For example, in John chapter 4, Jesus' disciples come back to Him after He was serving a woman and preaching the truth. And in verses 31-34, it states, "Meanwhile, the disciples were urging Him, saying, 'Rabbi, eat.' But He said to them, 'I have food to eat that you do not know about.' So the disciples said to one another, 'Has anyone brought Him something to eat?' Jesus said to them, 'My food is to do the will of Him who sent me and to accomplish His work.' The way to feed your own heart is to feed others. Like Jesus, we must eat the food of service if we hope to feel full in our hearts. Yes, we must receive from God and fill our hearts with His truths, but if we do not give to others and serve God in love, we will feel empty. As Jeremiah 2:20-21 also states, "For long ago I broke your yoke and burst your bonds, but you said, 'I will not serve.' Yes, on every high hill and under every green tree, you bowed down like a whore. Yet I planted you a choice vine, wholly of pure seed. How then have you turned degenerate and become a wild vine? May we not say, I will not serve. Through serving, we are filled. As Jesus also said, as quoted in Acts 20, verse 35, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Number 3, God will allow you to feel empty on the inside if you have unconfessed sin eating away at you. Sometimes the reason you feel empty isn't because you're not feeding yourself something good, but rather it's because there's something inside of you eating away at you. You can never out-eat a guilty conscience. In other words, you can never fill yourself enough if you have a sin hiding in your heart. That sin is always going to steal your peace. As David said in Psalm 32, 1 through 5, Blessed is the one whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man against whom the Lord counts no iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. For when I kept silent, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My strength was dried up as by the heat of summer. I acknowledged my sin to you, and I did not cover my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the iniquity of my sin. When he had unconfessed sin, that sin was eating away at him. That's why he said, my bones wasted away. However, when he confessed to God, he was instantly forgiven, and his curse was replaced with a blessing. Through Christ, the same can be true of you if guilt is eating you from the inside out. And number 4, God will allow you to feel empty on the inside if you have forgotten your purpose. Emptiness and meaninglessness are close relatives. Have you ever gone to the zoo and seen an alpha animal, a predator like a bear or a lion, behind the cage, and it looking alive, on purpose, just ready to go and just looking beautiful in all its glory? Of course not. Because when an animal like that is trapped in a cage, it can't be the alpha predator that God made it to be, and therefore it's not alive. When those beautiful animals aren't living their purpose in the wild, they can't show the fullness of the glory that God's given them. And the same is true for us. When we're not living our purpose, we will not feel alive on the inside. If you've been domesticated as a Christian and you're living a life that is too safe, and there's no risk, and there's no meaning, and there's no purpose, then you're going to feel empty on the inside. So what is your purpose? According to the Bible, all Christians have the same big general purpose, which is to glorify God. But then God gives us each unique callings that change throughout our lives. But essentially, we're to always glorify God in the places that God places us. So, big picture, if you're feeling lost and like your life is meaningless, remember what the Bible says to all of us as Christians, which is to do basically 3 things: glorify God, and love people. And then express those 3 things in the context of your daily life. Bloom where you're planted. If you have people in your life, love those people. At work, those are the people in your life. Love those people at your work. You go to a new job, love those people at your new job. Express your higher purpose wherever God has placed you, and that's how you are able to fulfill your purpose for the glory of God. And when you do that, when you fulfill your purpose, you will feel fulfilled on the inside. One of the best ways you can help support me and this ministry is by liking this video and subscribing to the channel, so that way you and I can stay in touch. I'm Mark from ApplyGodsWord.com. Hope this was helpful to you, and until next time, God bless.